Well, becoming a parent changes everything, but much of that conversation often focuses on the child or the mother and not always on the emotional journey for dads.
Author and podcaster Kevin Seldon is hoping to change that with the Dad I Like to Friend Handbook, a guide to helping fathers feel more supported, connected, and confident starting in those early months. And the book debuted at #1 on Amazon's fatherhood charts. Kevin joins us live in studio this morning. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, we appreciate you being here.
Yeah, Kevin, first off, what inspired you to write this book, and what was the biggest surprise you learned about fatherhood?
I mean, to be honest, it took us a lot of years to get pregnant.
Yeah.
And once we finally did, or my wife to get pregnant, but at the end of the day, throughout all those struggles, I feel like I kind of pushed down at everything I was feeling to support her. And then I woke up one morning with our newborn and I didn't recognize myself in the mirror. And I realized that for a lot of men, you know, we put so much support into, you know, the wife who's giving birth, and it's justified. But at the end of the day, a lot of times the partner that's sitting beside them is kind of left with figure it out for yourself.
Absolutely.
And it can be a very overwhelming and isolating experience.
And I'm sure your wife was very supportive in you speaking up about what you were feeling. How did you get to a point where you said, I feel comfortable sharing this, and identifying that other fathers are feeling the same way?
Well, I think that at the end of the day, when a lot of, as much as moms might want to support dads, they have their own stuff they're dealing with when they first become a parent. And so I realized quickly that, you know, dads need to find some kind of support system out there to be able to better support themselves. So I actually launched a podcast called DILF, Dad I Like to Friend. And then when that took off, I turned it into a nonprofit called Dads Supporting Dads. And then I realized that the book was something that was kind of the next evolution, kind of debunking these myths that I was hearing from all these dads. And so now the nonprofit is one of the largest dad communities in the country. We have dad groups all across the country.
Amazing.
And it's all about connecting dads and showing all parents that they're not alone.
Well, Kevin, obviously through your podcast and your book, you've been very open about your experience healing from what you're calling paternal postpartum depression. First of all, describe what those feelings and symptoms are, and what do you want fathers out there to know?
I actually use even a broader term. I say PMADS, perinatal mood and anxiety disorders. And it's an umbrella term that encompasses postpartum depression, but also postpartum anxiety, which so many new parents experience and no one discusses. And a lot of the stuff with perinatal mood and anxiety disorders, it can affect not just dads, but moms through surrogacy and adoption. You know, there's so many different parents out there that aren't just people who gave birth to their baby. PMADS can affect anyone. It's actually 1 in 10 new dads experience this. And in the 3 to 6 months following the birth of their baby, that number can jump to 25%.
Wow.
So 1 in 4 new dads. And also, again, parents through surrogacy and adoption can experience these struggles as much as moms.
Absolutely.
And so for me, it was just realizing that I was struggling and I was having, you know, panic attacks, and I didn't want to burden my partner with that. But I also needed to search for other support systems to know that not only was I not alone, but to let others know that they're not alone.
Absolutely. What I thought was interesting is I read that you launched the podcast and then found more moms who were listening than dads, which I thought was very interesting, because doesn't that tell you, I guess, then the women are going, wait, I do identify this in my husband, partner, and I want to communicate it to him. But what did that tell you about how then you would have to reach fathers?
Well, the joke is that my wife comes on sometimes mid-fight. And in the middle, we kind of work out the fight on the podcast. And the funniest thing is always the dads go, I agree with Kevin. And the moms always go, I agree with Laura. We're very role reversal, you know?
It should be.
And I kind of carry the mental load, and we've always had this interesting role reversal dynamic. And when we found that a lot of the moms were resonating, it was that not only were they realizing that moms and dads are more similar than we give credit for, but also more importantly, unfortunately, we're in a world right now where the moms are the ones who are going to buy this book for the husbands a lot of times. And the moms are the ones who are going to find the dad groups through the nonprofit.
And then send their partner over there.
But we're trying to change that by basically having our WhatsApp group now for the nonprofit has thousands and thousands of members across the country, and every day hundreds more sign up. And I feel like as we create forums for dads to be more open and honest with what they're feeling, we create this change in society where it's okay for dads to reach out for support. It's okay for them to not be alone.
Have you gotten pushback on that change, I wonder? Because, you know, part of this being forward and speaking up as a dad, I'm sure there are some women who said, well, the woman is the one who gave birth. It doesn't matter what you're going through. How do you respond to that?
I mean, it is such a huge thing.
I figured.
And at the end of the day, what we say is that no one can support someone else when they themselves are suffering. And we are not saying in any way that moms don't need support. Actually, moms need more support. Birthing moms need more support. You know, but at the end of the day, how can a partner support their wife if they themselves are struggling? So moms need more support, dads need more support. We all need support as parents, and helping one does not dismiss the other.
Yeah. Well, we hope that fathers find support in your new book. Thank you for being here to tell us about it, and a happy early Father's Day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Father's Day gift.
There you go.